Hello, hello. You guys hear me all right? I'm just setting a couple things up first before we really get started. So just give me a little bit of time here. Yo, what's good, Elda? How you doing? Let's give everybody a little bit of time to show up before we get started, because I actually do have somewhat of a plan for this list here. Imagine a big project, dude. I still haven't even gotten to the video part. I'm gonna work on it as soon as I'm done streaming. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, instead of doing part 1 on Thursday, I think I'm gonna stick with Friday for part 1, and then have part 2 and part 3 be Saturday and Sunday. That way at least I can get part 1. At least I can get part 1 done throughout the week, and then, because part 2 and part 3 are gonna be easy to do for the most part. It's part 1, because part 1 has the most amount of content in it, and it's kind of weird the way I have to cut it, and I still don't know how I'm gonna do it, but once I figure it out, it'll be easier. Yo, what's up, Dash? How you doing? It's been a good bit, dude. Alright, so I'll give it about 2 more minutes before we actually get started. So about 2 more minutes, guys, before the discussion can continue, or at least get started. I've been wanting to do this topic for about a week now, and every time I sit down to record it, it doesn't sound right, but I think I have my script finalized here, and so I thought I should just stream it just to get it out of the way, and it'd be nice to have some live feedback. I'm probably gonna make this into a separate video later on, probably next week. I'll like cut it up and then make it an actual video and then post it next week. At least that's the plan. Can you guys hear me okay? It says my mic level is good, so. You're playing Chase Stars. That's actually kind of surprising. Alright. The 2 minutes are up. So, what's up, everybody? It's your boy True here. So today, we're going to be talking about the winners and losers of the most recent Dragon Ball FighterZ patch, version 1.32. This patch has had a lot of controversy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of people hate it and a lot of people like it. I am of the latter opinion. I really do like this patch overall. Though it does bring up an issue I had with the game in and of itself, which most people aren't talking about, and I'm gonna probably make a video on it later on, or maybe I'll do it as a part of the stream, I don't know. But it's definitely a topic that I want to talk about at some point. But we're not here talking about that topic. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest winners and losers. So yay! It do be fun. Plus finally continue with Hunter x Hunter. J-Stars helps you cope that you're never going to get a Hunter x Hunter fighting game. Yeah, that's the sad part about these series, man. Unless you're just like always in the limelight, is like you're never really gonna make an impact, especially now in the gaming scene, because games are so expensive nowadays to make. It's like your series has to be really popular in order for it to even get a freaking mobile game. Like, just getting a mobile game costs a hell of a lot of money. So it's like it's really only the big 4 or 5 animes that are getting console releases. Like, the only animes properties that are big enough to get like actual console releases is Dragon Ball, My Hero, One Piece, Naruto, most recently Demon Slayer, but they only have one game. And is that it? Dragon Ball, One Piece, My Hero, Naruto, and Demon Slayer. Yeah, I think those are the only 5 that actually got console releases within recent years. And honestly, Naruto is just reusing the same freaking game, which is Storm 4. Dragon Ball and One Piece are like the only properties that are actually making games on a regular. Which is sad. JJK might be getting a game sometime in the next few years. I can see it. It's a shame that the One Punch Man game failed because it was a legit bad game. Because we could have used some more One Punch Man games, but now they fumbled so badly that they're never getting a sequel or another One Punch Man game. Hell, even Kill la Kill had a rough ass start, and it was made by Arxis. I mean, the Kill la Kill game came out years too late, but you know. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about winners and losers today. So the way this is going to be structured is that I have an actual script for this video, and so I'm going to be using the script for the characters I want to talk about, and then I will be talking about the rest of the roster as like an extra bit of the video. I might just leave it at the characters that I have a script for, because I actually have something like written down and it's constructive. So I might just leave like the rest of the roster as a stream exclusive, but the characters in my script I definitely want to talk about. And then after which, depending on how much time we have, I might do an actual like realistic tier list of the actual game right now. It just depends on how things go. So that is the plan for today. Remember the Captain Tsubasa game? I do not remember that game, no. The Kill la Kill game was so good, came out too late, yeah. If it came out like a year after the anime ended at max, it would have done fine. But the game came out like what? It was like 5 or 6 years after the anime ended. Like it took way too long for Kill la Kill to get a game. And from what I understand, the patches that they gave to the game made the game worse. So like Kill la Kill is actually just a worse game now, apparently. Like every patch they did for the game, like after its launch, just made the game worse, apparently. I never played it, so I wouldn't know. Exactly, nobody remembers it. Yeah. Alright guys, so you guys want me to get started? Remember, the first part of the stream is just me going to be going over my script here, and then later on, once I'm done talking about the characters in my script, I will go on to the rest of the roster. And then, depending on how much time we have, I'll do an actual tier list. Alright guys, so video time. Let's do this thing, alright? Yo guys, what's up? It's your boy TRUEDBZKiller, back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the biggest winners and losers of the most recent Dragon Ball FighterZ patch, version 1.32. So this patch overall, in my opinion, is a pretty good patch, but there has been a lot of controversy when it comes to characters overall. But for now, I'm just going to be talking about which characters was most affected, both positively and negatively, in the patch and the overall health of the game. So here I have, on screen, I have top 5 winners, honorable mentions for losers, and then top 5 losers. The same portion here is more so going to be for the stream only section of this video. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts about the characters that stayed the same, then please watch the actual stream version of this video. I'll have it linked in the description. And yeah, so today I have a top 5 for each side, winners and losers, and then I have 2 to 3 honorable mentions, which will be expanded as we continue on in the stream version of the discussion. So the honorable mention portion means that whether the character was buffed or nerfed, the core of the character's play style wasn't majorly changed, and that for the most part their role on the team won't change, or their individual strength wasn't changed that drastically. So that's what honorable mentions mean. So it means that they got buffed or nerfed, but it wasn't enough to actually make them make the top 5. You know, it was a difference, but it wasn't that drastic. And then the number placements, which are top 5s for each. The number of placements means that the higher up on the list you go means the character has changed for the better or for worse the higher you go. So the way this is going to work is that it's going to be reading from left to right. So the character that's right here is going to be number 1, and then the character over here is going to be number 2, and yada yada yada. Now, fully disclaimer guys, fully disclaimer. Every character in Dragon Ball FighterZ is viable now. Every character. If anybody tells you that you can't play this character or this character because they're bad, they're wrong. Literally every character in this game is viable and has plenty enough strengths for you to build an optimal team and for you to win consistently. Every single character. There are no bad characters in this game. Now, it is up to you, the player, to figure out their strengths and weaknesses, and it's up to you to focus your team based on playing to their strengths, or if you just want to play the game with your favorite characters and not caring about synergy and meta, then that's perfectly okay too. And just because your character might be in the loser side, it doesn't make them a bad character, and vice versa. Just because your favorite character is on the winning side doesn't mean that that character is number 1 or even top 5 in the game. This video is purely focused on the changes of this patch and how I feel the developers did in balancing the game. So, that is my disclaimer. So, with that being said guys, let's get into the losers' honorable mentions. So, first up in the honorable mentions for losers. Hit. Hit is the very first character. The Universe 6 Assassin Hit. Probably the most shocking change in the entire patch. Minus 30% to his meter gain. Makes his position as a point character harder since he can't build meter for stray hits or killing early. Not the biggest deal since his meter gain was never that great to begin with, and he's not completely dependent on meter to achieve his win condition. In addition, he has a great assist spread, so mid-hit is not a bad idea. He's already in the good graces of the community, so I don't see his placement changing anytime soon. Next up, we have Goku Black. Where is he? Goku Black. Goku Black, the most disappointing character in this entire patch. Though his beam and command grab changes are really good, it hasn't really addressed the issues, or at least one of the issues I have with the character. Even though his mid-screen damage and overall hit confirms are better, the biggest issue for Goku Black, in my opinion, is that his level 3 is not strong enough anymore. His level 3 not having good frame advantage makes his mix-ups a lot harder and way more situational. His changes to his heavy teleport in the previous patches gives him great mix-ups with assists, but not really that much when it comes to his level 3 Oki. The most you can get for Goku Black's level 3 is a safe jump in the corner, and mid-screen all you can really do is meaty with a light jab or ki blast. Sorry about that. So it really just feels like Goku Black's level 3 is really just a killing tool and nothing much else. Arc System Works dropped the ball on this character here and is one of the biggest losers in this entire list. Alright, so that's all I have for the video version of Honorable Mentions. So, anybody in chat, before I get to the top 5, do you guys have any issues with Goku Black and Hit being here? If you guys got anything to add before I go into the top 5. Now you agree? Okay. Coolio. Shit. Alrighty then. Let's get on to the top 5. You guys ready? Here we go. Number 5 on my list goes to Blue Vegito. It's kind of comical how many times they have nerfed this character's meter gain. I think we're up to 3 times at this point now. Vegito is an interesting case. At this point in the game, he's basically in the top 3 anchors in the game next to TN and Android 17. So his meter gain nerf from a glance doesn't seem to be that big a deal, in theory. Sorry about that. Because the point and mid character will build meter for him, which is true, but on some team comps, it relies a lot on some team comps. Vegito level 3 is basically required for that team to kill or at least have very good synergy, and with Vegito level 3 mix-ups, you need 4 bars of meter. And even if Vegito does get the hit on his opponent, because of this meter gain nerf, it's not like Vegito's gonna build enough bar to actually kill, especially if you don't have bar, beforehand, like 5 or 6 bars. So the reward he gets off of level 3 mix-ups are a lot less now, so blocking Vegito is not really that threatening anymore. And so this is a pretty big change when it comes to Vegito's pressure and mix-ups, because now he might do a lot of damage, but it's not like he's going to kill as early as he used to, and it's not going to be as easy for his mix-ups to be as consistent because of the meter gain nerfs. The only reason why he's number 5 on this list and not higher is because he's an anchor character most of the time. So most often than not, you will be able to at least do Vegito's level 3 mix at least twice per game, at the very least twice per game. So, you know, if you have a character that has a really high damage ceiling, like characters like Adult Gohan, Blue Vegeta, Krillin, Blue Gogeta, who can like have lots of damage, and then you switch into Vegito, then it's really not that bad. Because, you know, with the high damage of your point character, once Vegito is tagged in, you do your mix-up. Vegito can kill pretty reliably. It's just not as consistent as it was before. So, because Vegito is still considered an anchor character and still one of the best at it, it's not that big a deal for Vegito. But he's still in the top 5. Alright, number 4. Number 4 goes to this man. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is basically in the same boat as Hit, but it's worse. Gogeta's meter gain was actually pretty decent, and with his 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha Super, building meter and levels was important to one of the core ways you could play the character. Not only this, but if you pair him with a meter builder. Sorry about that. Oh god, I need to get some water. Not only do you have to pair him with a meter builder, but you also have to pair him with a great assist that allows him to combo easy, and as well give him levels without losing out on major damage. So this limits his team comp drastically in comparison to before. And also, unlike Hit, who has a really good assist spread, Gogeta really only has B assist to rely on. His A assist is very situational and gimmicky, while his C assist can be good for characters with command grabs or doesn't need a lot of block stun in general. It's just not optimal for most teams in the game. And as well, even though C assists were buffs with less recovery, it's still a C assist, which is slower than most assists in the game. So that is why Gogeta 4 is number 4. Alright, next on my list, Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue, the two-touch king himself. This guy's game plan got shot. Honestly, it really did get shot. Not in execution, but in reward. His standard two-touch routes and set play now has less meter, which means less reward. And without significant meter from others, and every starter being a medium button like 2M or 5M, he's not two-touching life bars with ease like he used to. His 2H nerf isn't so bad since his 236 Rekka pretty much gives him the exact same mix-up. So he still has high-low mix-ups with anti-reflex, built in. But when it comes to actually, his TODs and just overall killing ability, it's dramatically less than before. And honestly, it's even worse than Gogeta 4, because not only is the meter penalty a lot higher at 50%, which is basically cut it in half, but Gogeta Blue doesn't really have that many assist options to begin with, just like with Gogeta 4. His C assist and B assist are good in particular situations, but his A assist is really the only consistent one that I would really rely on. And though it is a really good assist, it's not to the point where it's like definitively one of the top 10 assists in the game. So like, his A assist is good, but not enough to carry you. So that's why I put Gogeta Blue over Gogeta 4. Because both of these characters essentially do the same thing at being really good point characters for other characters to be tagged in or to just do major damage just right out the get-go. But Gogeta Blue is in a worse position because just like Gogeta 4, his assist spread isn't that great, and also his meter gain nerf is a lot higher than Gogeta 4. So Gogeta Blue definitely got shot this patch. Alright, so this one I kind of cheated a little bit. So number 2, I actually have 2 characters. So number 2 on this list, I have... where is he? I have Zamasu and Janemba as number 2. I think probably Janemba got it worse. So I kind of cheated here, but Janemba and Zamasu are literally in the exact same position. Like, their nerf to meter gain was so drastic to their game plan. These two needed changes, but this is not what I would have done to these characters. I couldn't choose who would be number 2 or number 3, so I just put them together and basically moved everybody else up. Putting them together basically means they're essentially in the same situation. For most players, Janemba and Zamasu were pretty much near top tier, if not top tier already. Both have great neutral, damage, assists, mix-ups, and both were growing in popularity dramatically. But with them being so strong came at a cost of semi-limited team building and resource management. Some characters work really well with Zamasu and some characters work really well with Janemba, but they're not... I would say they're not as universal as most people think they are. Meter builders were crucial to bringing their full kits to maximum power, and they could really only build the meter that they spent and nothing really more. So for example, if Zamasu used a bar in one of his combos or used half a bar in his combos, he could really only build that half a bar back. He didn't really build that much significant meter afterwards because he is very meter reliant, and just like Janemba, specifically with his orb combos and command grab mix-ups, you know, if Janemba spent half a bar on his orb combo, he pretty much only really made that half a meter back, and maybe a little bit more, but it wasn't significant enough to where, you know, he was building 2 bars per combo while using EX moves. You know, they pretty much built what they spent, basically. And now, with the 30% to meter nerf, they basically can't build the meter that they spend on Oki, mix-ups, combos, and etc. So now their team building is even more limited because now you have to put them with even better meter builders, and depending on the situation, you can't even do their optimal combo setups and yada yada, because if you spend the meter, then they're not going to build it back, and so it pretty much kills some of their actual killing power and mix-ups all at the same time. And to be honest, like I said before, I wanted these characters nerfed, but this is not what I would have done personally. I wouldn't have nerfed their meter because that's not what I disliked about these characters at that point in time. The change to these 2 characters was pretty dramatic, I would say. And the biggest loser, number 1. You guys know her. You guys hate her. Android 21 Lab Coat. I don't think this is a stretch at all. She is basically the only character that got real changes in this patch besides meter gain nerfs. She's pretty much the only character that actually got actual nerfs. So Android 21's basically been ruling the game ever since she's been released, and even though she's been nerfed several times, she's practically been top 1, like I said, since she's released. But now I think there's actual discussion as to where she fits within the top 10 of the game. I think there's actually some discussion here. She's probably still top 5 material, but I don't think it's as definitive as it was before in the latest patch. So now being able to reflect both her lariats and A assist in the middle of block stun, it basically kills her spin to win nature that everybody hates about the character, and so it makes her neutral a lot harder. And it pretty much nerfs a lot of her Oki setups as well. Like, some players would actually do her Corsical backspin plus assist, and if you didn't reflect as soon as you got up, you basically couldn't do anything. Like you actually just got checkmate. So it basically killed that setup. And so now, in addition with the meter gain nerf, you know, because you can reflect Lariat, it's not an issue on block. And even if you get hit, because of the meter gain nerf, she can't build the bar back, so her killing power is way less than it was before. So now if she does EX spin into EX stomp, her meter gain is like shot, like she's not building any bar anymore. So her killing potential is gone way down. I still think she's top 5 overall, but like I said, it's not definitive like it was before. So, just to recap, my honorable mentions for losers is Hit and Goku Black. Number 5 for losers is Vegito Blue. Number 4 is Gogeta 4. Number 3 is Gogeta Blue. Number 2 is Zamasu and Janemba. And then my number 1 pick is Android 21 Lab Coat. Alright guys, so top 5 losers, or well, technically top 6 losers. You guys got any additional thoughts about this, or do you guys pretty much have an agreement on that before I start on the winners? I should probably get some water too while I'm chilling real quick. Let me go get some water real quick, actually, before I forget. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, guys. Alright, are you guys ready for winners? Just double check something real quick before I continue. Okay. Now let's move on to winners. Let me pull up the script here. Alright. So honorable mention for the winners side. So the first character I have might surprise you, actually. It is Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta has one of the biggest glow-ups in the community's eyes right now. With his Big Bang attack change being able to be special move and super dash cancelable, it has created brand new combo routes and mixed opportunities. A-assist being buffed was a mistake. It was already a really great assist. It's just that nobody wanted to actually admit it. I am a A-assist stan. And B-assist being buffed just overall makes team building even better for him. In general, the reason why I have him as an honorable mention is I feel like his game plan overall has not changed at all. And the fact that he has the Big Bang change does help out his neutral slightly. But in terms of combos, he could already 2-touch really consistently. So in terms of damage, his damage is higher, but it's not to a point where it wasn't like he wasn't already two touching characters on average. It's just a lot easier now. And in terms of his neutral, which did get buffed with this change, like I said, it wasn't significant enough to where he's a god at neutral. Like it buffed it, but not dramatically enough. So like I said in my honorable mentions disclaimer, you know, your honorable mention if you got buffed or nerfed, but it wasn't significant enough to where, you know, some part of your kit or game plan has changed. And in my opinion, Blue Vegeta overall feels pretty much the exact same as a character. He pretty much feels exactly the same. It is that his combos are different and do more damage, and that's basically it for the character. There's a lot of tech for the character, but his overall game plan hasn't changed. He's pretty much exactly where he was before, in my opinion. Maybe slightly higher. Alright, so my next honorable mention is Mr. Cooler, or Booler, as the community would say. So if I had to describe Cooler's buffs in one word, I would just say consistency. This patch basically made him better at what he was already doing pretty dang well. His 5H being -1 makes his staggers and anti-reflex way more dangerous, and 5H on hit now gives you extended combos, which makes his damage even more consistent and higher as a result. His 214S or his Death Shaker and level 1, or his grounded level 1 being faster, just means that his combos are a lot easier and more consistent. Like I said, consistency. And with his medium dive kick now being a better stagger tool, it just means that his block strings and pressure is just overall better, which means it's more consistent. So basically everything about Cooler is better, but his game plan hasn't really changed at all. He still wants to stagger you and bait you into reflecting or guard canceling so he can punish you. And that's pretty much exactly the same thing. Like he's like I said, he's better at what he was already doing good. So Cooler is my honorable mention. And then the final character for my honorable mentions is Jiren. Jiren the Grey. Jiren was already a close-to-range monster, but now his pressure and staggers are definitely in the top 5 discussion with characters like Gogeta 4 and Base Goku. He might honestly be at number 1 to 3, depending on who you ask. With his normals being as fast as they are, he has access to even better staggers and actual 50-50s now. So his 5H being slow isn't really a bad thing anymore when he has frame data like this. Jiren just overall is just a lot more consistent when it comes to frame data, staggers, pressure, pretty much the exact same thing as Cooler. But in Jiren's case, he has assists to back him up as well. So Jiren is an even more consistent character than Cooler is. But like I said, his buffs weren't enough to where you play Jiren any differently than what you did before, because Jiren already had good staggers. It's just that he couldn't open you up because he couldn't 50-50 you or use strike throw. But now he actually does have access to 50-50s. So Jiren is definitely going to be cooking in this patch. So Jiren players, you guys won. Alright, so before I go into top 5, anybody got anything to say about honorable mentions? You're surprised that Blue Vegeta is just an honorable mention, but then I remembered the characters who got even crazier changes. Yeah, the thing about Blue Vegeta is that his changes on the list were crazy. They're actually crazy. But like I said, the reason why I have him as an honorable mention is because his game plan overall has not changed. There's no real difference in Blue Vegeta in this patch and in the previous patch, other than his combos are different. His mix-ups are still the same. His neutral is pretty much the exact same. His pressure is a little bit different because now you can super dash Big Bang and it actually jails now. So, you know, you can do like Big Bang plus assist and do 50-50s. But outside of that, there's really nothing else different about the character. Other than, like I said, his combos and certain sequences when it comes to pressure. Everything else about the character is exactly the same. His normals are still the same. His key blasts are still the same. He's the exact same character, just does more damage. So, Wood, you won. Let's go. My boy Jiren, dude. He got some good ass buffs, dude. He got some good ass buffs. Alright, so anybody else got anything to say about honorable mentions before we get into the top 5? I love this track, by the way. This track is really good. Fuck Jiren? Yeah, why you mad, dude? Dash, why you mad? Yo, what's up, Azarus? What's good, Azarus? How you doing? Yo, Dash, you got anything to say about my list so far? Before I go into the top 5 winners? Nope, nothing. You gonna let me cook? Alright. Alright, so. Nah, homie? Alright, cool. Let's get into the top 5. Here we go. Number 5. Number 5, I have Z Broly. Z Broly is definitely a winner of this patch. Z Broly got some really great buffs. His 5 LLL being buffed basically means he has another anti-reflect. So now it's even harder to reflect him. And because it's also considered a grab, even if you reflect twice, he will still be able to hit you. So if you double anti-reflect him on his auto combo, his grab will just straight up snatch you. So, yeah, now you can't reflect him on staggers, or at least not as easy as you could before. But the big change to his JH is on another level. His JH change basically gives him more hit stun to do combos, which basically means he has another source of damage. So one of the biggest weaknesses of Broly was that his damage overall was dramatically lower than a lot of the cast. Especially when it comes to his strike throw. When it comes to his throws, you didn't get that much damage unless you level 3'd immediately afterwards. And on hit, you pretty much only took like 3k, maybe 3.5, 3.5, which isn't a lot when it comes to Dragon Ball. Like 4k is what you want to be, heading towards. And Broly not being able to do that was a genuine weakness of Broly. But now with this JH change, now he has even more damage, which means his strike throw is way more threatening. And in addition, because he can combo longer, it means his meter gain is actually better as a result. So Broly can actually build like really good meter now, which means he has access to level 3 more consistently. And I'm not going to forget about his J3H change. So now, instead of doing J2H for sliding knockdowns in the corner, you can actually do J3H mid-screen, which gives you a sliding knockdown in any combo. Now, you do need a lot of hit stun for this to work, but in terms of like all of Broly's basic BNBs without assist follow-ups, Broly can always get a sliding knockdown now, which means he will always be able to press you in an Oki situation instead of being corner only or level 3 specific. So overall, Broly is just is just more consistent, just overall. But the reason why he's top 5 is because his meter gain and his damage is just overall just vastly better than what it was before. And since, like I said, he's a strike throw character, having consistent and good damage is really, really important. In addition to Broly having just godly neutral. So, yeah, Broly is a menace anywhere he is on screen now. I mean, he already was, but now he's even more so. Alright, so number 4. Number 4 goes to Piccolo. Number 4 goes to Piccolo. I swear to God, Arc System Works keeps buffing this character again and again, and it's honestly getting annoying. Like, I think overall, he has the most amount of buffs in the entire game's lifespan. Like, I think if we looked at all the buffs characters have gotten over the span of the game, I think Piccolo has gotten the most amount of buffs. Like, they buffed this character to hell, dude. Like, this character is, bro, he might be like top 20 material now. Like, he was falling out of the meta thanks to Lab Coat and Vegito, but yo, Piccolo's kind of cooking now. He's kind of cooking now. Overall, his changes are pretty much quality of life stuff, like his auto combo change and his 6S being -2, which it was already safe on block, but it being -2 is definitely a good change. But his big change to his JH, it almost carries him to top 5. Like, the JH change is so important to Piccolo's game plan, because with his JH now being able to actually keep your opponent in place, it basically means Piccolo has easy sliding knockdowns anywhere on screen, which means he has access to Hell Zone more consistently without spending meter, which means he can mix you even more consistently. And this is a major change for Piccolo, because one of the major weaknesses of Piccolo is that he was very meter hungry, and so now you can actually play Piccolo with less than optimal meter builders and can actually like build more teams with him. Because like I said before, you pretty much had to run a character that built meter for Piccolo and who could set him up Hell Zone wise. But now with this change, it's way easier to build teams with Piccolo now. And let's be clear, his JH was already one of the best normals in the game because of how distorted it was and for how fast it was. But now Piccolo can combo into it anywhere on screen now. He can always jump cancel or do JH special move and hit confirm, which is freaking insane. Like, it's actually crazy how good of a buff that is. And as well as his B assist got buffed as well. And what this does is, once again, it makes his team building a lot more flexible, because now the only assist you would actually use for Piccolo was his A assist, because it's actually that good. But his B assist being faster at 20 frames, I believe, and the fact that it spawns next to you, which means Super Dash plus assist and run up call assist is actually way stronger than what it used to be. So overall, Piccolo's just team structure is just way more flexible. And honestly, I think Piccolo is gonna rise just in general. I think Piccolo is gonna be looking really good in this meta, especially with Lab Coat and Vegito nerfed. Not in game plan, but in reward. And because Piccolo's reward just keeps getting higher and higher, once Piccolo hits you, you're pretty much gonna die. So Piccolo definitely got a really well, he got several good changes, but his JH and B assist are fantastic changes. Next is number 3. Number 3 goes to this man right here, Frieza. Frieza is definitely a winner of this patch. So Frieza actually feels like a stable character, both as a points character and as an assist character. On point, his changes to his 236 orb and 5M definitely makes him a lot scarier from afar, which is what Frieza really wants to do. He wants to zone you from afar and then try to hit confirm. And with his full screen 5M, he can pretty much hit confirm anything on screen now. And with the ability to change the speed of his orb, he can zone you even more effectively now. But the big change to Frieza is what they did to his assists. So one of the big criticisms of Frieza being a viable character is that his assists didn't really help out the majority of the cast. But now, with A assist now being able to be changed by doing a certain input, Frieza can actually spawn his pillar close to the opponent and far away. So you can use A assist for different situations. Like, for example, if you're trying to pressure your opponent, you call the close up pillar. If you're zoning from far away, then you want to use the far away pillar. And if you're trying to get in on your opponent mid-screen, then you use the regular pillar. His A assist now has much more flexibility and makes his team building a lot easier. His B assist basically got the exact same change as his 236 S orb, which basically means you can change the speed of it when you call his B assist, and it just makes it overall easier to use in combos and pressure. And honestly, is a really good buff for characters who doesn't have that great neutral, because it goes slower than you. You can run ahead of it and begin your pressure or force your opponent to block. And then once the B assist actually hits the opponent, you get just enough blocks done to, if you're a grappler, command grab them, and if you're a mix-up character, do a very fast mix-up, even though most of the time it's going to be fake. But you still have that opportunity because the mind game is there. The mind game is there because of the orb. And C assist now tracks on the ground, making it easier for hit confirms. So Frieza just overall feels a lot more stable. If I had to describe Frieza, like his changes, it would be stability. These patch changes made Frieza a lot more stable than what he was before. And so now, especially because Golden Form hasn't changed, I think Frieza is definitely a high tier character now. Honestly, he's no longer low tier. I think he's actually in discussion for an high tier spot. Alright, number two. Here we go. Now, this is probably going to be the most controversial placement I'm going to have on this list. But number 2, I have... Where is he? Trunks. Gotta get my boy Trunks up here. Trunks is definitely a winner of this patch. Honestly, I think outside of the number 1 spot, he got the best significant changes. Honestly, if we're looking at like number of changes in comparison to like the actual like meaningfulness of his changes, he probably has the most meaningful changes of the entire patch, to be honest. I think he has the most meaningful patches of this entire set. Maybe number 1 is more impactful because we'll talk about him later, but Trunks got a lot of good changes. So overall, this character's reputation has pretty much been, in lack of a better term, rocky. It seems like every time they buff this character, everybody goes nuts for him and say that like he's top tier now or really good, and then 2 weeks later everybody says he's garbage and bottom 5. So it's gonna be weird having him in the top 5 winners, but I honestly genuinely believe that he is one of the biggest winners of this patch. Now when it comes to his overall placement in the meta, in terms of like how strong he is individually overall in comparison to everybody else, I have some interesting thoughts on that, but that's not for right now. But in terms of winners, he's definitely a big winner. Just going over some of his changes. His consistent knockdown being from J236L, which is his Shining Slash ability, basically fixed one of his core issues, and that was getting sliding knockdowns off of raw hits. He can get sliding knockdowns now, which basically means he can continue pressure and finish his combos a lot easier. Probably his most important change, which was to his JH being faster, which basically gives him left-right mix-ups unconditionally. And with addition of his, I think his 5L and 2L being 0 or -2 or something like that, he pretty much has the perfect setup for left-right 50-50s. Like, he has the best setup for 50-50s out of pretty much anybody in the game. And because of his JH is faster, giving him left-rights, his level 3 Oki is a lot stronger as well. Because now, when you level 3 with Trunks, you don't have to do EX spin mix-ups for left-right mix-ups anymore. You can just run up 2L or run up IDH for a cross-up, and it works literally just as well as his EX flip mix-ups. So, two of his core issues, that being level 3 Oki and sliding knockdowns, was fixed. Now, when it comes to him going into his level 3, you still have to spend a little bit of meter mid-screen, but honestly, for the amount of reward that he gets off his combos now, thanks to his beam changes, and the fact that he can flip mid-combo to save his jump cancels, meaning his combo damage is actually pretty dang good. I think you spending half a bar to get level 3 mid-screen is a pretty good, is a pretty okay weakness to have for a character like this. I think it's not that big a deal. So yeah, overall, I think Trunks is a lot stronger than what he was in the previous patch, and I don't want to hear any Trunks doomers in the comments or on Twitter talking about this character still sucks, because this character is not bad. He hasn't been bad since middle of season 3. He hasn't been bad since then. But now you cannot call this character bad anymore. You cannot. I refuse. This character is not bad. If you guys say this character is bad, then you're just bad at playing Trunks. Sorry, I went on a little tangent there, because people have been downplaying this character for so freaking long that I just had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. Alright, so actually before I go into my number 1, who do you guys think is my number 1 pick? Actually, who do you guys think is my number 1 pick out of everybody in the roster? I want to see if you guys can guess who's my number 1 pick. I want to see if you guys actually know. I want to see if you guys know. Who's gonna be my number 1 pick? Blueku? Blueku as top 1 winner. Blueku is a top 1 winner of this patch. Really? Okay. Blueku. Okay. Yo, Eldo, you got a guess? You got a guess, Eldo? Oh, you thought I meant for same? Oh yeah, Blueku is definitely gonna be on the same. He's definitely gonna be on same. You think Krillin is gonna be my number 1? Okay, so Krillin, you think Krillin's gonna be my #1 winner of the patch? Okay, okay. Actually, I'll be right back. I will continue my list when I come back. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I ran out of water, so I had to go refill. I had to refill my cup. Alright, so you guys think Krillin is my #1 pick, huh? Well, you would be wrong, sir. My #1 pick for best winner of the Fighters Patch version 1.32 is Super Saiyan Vegeta. This character, when I tell you this character is on some stupid shit, I mean it. Super Saiyan Vegeta is the de facto #1 character of this patch. He got so many good changes, and to be honest, when you look at his list, he only got 3 major changes. It was only 3 changes, but what they do dramatically changes how this character is played now. Like, the way you play SSJ Vegeta is similar to how he was before, but there is so many new avenues that you can take it now that he feels like a completely new character. So, SSJ is my #1 pick. SSJ has been waiting for changes like this since Season 2 of the game. Super Saiyan Vegeta is the biggest glow up in my eyes. I know in a lot of people's eyes it's Blue Vegeta or Jiren or Cooler, but in my eyes it's SSJ Vegeta. Character like Blue Vegeta was already like rivaling characters like Beerus and Janemba, in my opinion, but SSJ Vegeta was literally the worst character in the game since, I think, probably, honestly, I think since, I might say he's been the worst character since UI Goku came out. I think he was the worst character since UI Goku came out. I think he was the worst ever since then. It kind of flip-flopped depending on like the meta. Like one patch it was Goku Black, another patch it was Trunks, another patch it might have been like Videl or somebody. But overall, I think for the game's entire lifespan, after Season 1, SSJ was consistently in the bottom 5. Like, no matter what. Because they didn't buff him. They didn't do anything to him. Like, all the changes they did to him were just, like, little stuff. Like, they didn't fix his core issues. Now, he does have a core issue of his assists not being that great. But SSJ as a point character now, like, him as a point character is so dramatically different and a lot more consistent. So I'm gonna just talk about his tools real quick, okay? I'm just gonna talk about his tools. So the first thing that they changed is his 236L, which is his super dash kick light version. Now you can use it for left-right mix-ups because if you hold forward while doing the special move, he actually bounces over the opponent's head and you still have access to air dashes and floating, which means you can left-right 50-50 people mid-screen. So now he has consistent 50-50s anywhere on screen, because he can already 50-50 you in the corner, but he couldn't do it mid-screen, but now he can do it mid-screen. And the only bad thing about that is that he does have landing recovery, but you can still combo after the overhead, right? If you do overhead JM or JL, you can still combo. It's just a little harder because of landing recovery. The next change is that his 236S now can be special cancelled, super dash cancelled, and vanish whiffed cancelled. So what this means is that you can zone with 236S now, because in essence, if you use it as a zoning tool, if your opponent super dashes at you, you can DP on reaction. If the opponent blocks it, you can 236H, which is his heavy dash kick plus assist to get in for free. And if they try to reflect it, then you can either toss out more Ki Blasts to catch the punish, or if they reflect and do nothing, then nothing happens. You don't get punished for it because you're at full screen zoning with it. So it's honestly one of the best zoning tools in the game. And also because you can special cancel it, but also because it's the fastest projectile on the ground. It is the fastest projectile on the ground with full screen. It hits at 20 frames. I think the fastest Ki Blast hits at 21 or 22. I think it's 22, and I think it's Team Gohan. I think Team Gohan's Ki Blast is the fastest in the game, and he hits at 21 or 22 frames, something like that. So it's even faster than the fastest Ki Blast in the game, which basically means the only characters that can really like outdo this move is probably Jiren and Broly, because they have armor or well, actually no, Broly can't go through special moves, so I think it's only Jiren. I think Jiren's the only character that can like counter it, ground it with an actual tool. No, Janemba can. Janemba can with counter. It's Janemba and Jiren. Yeah. And also, remember, he can vanish cancel it on whiff. So if you whiff the move, you can vanish and keep yourself safe. And with the addition of Super Dash being able to be cancelled, first of all, it buffs his meter gain, so now he gets consistent 2 bars per combo. It buffs his damage. He can get 4k each combo. It makes his special tags way better because it's one of the 236S is one of the best special tag moves in the game. And because you can super dash cancel it, you can hit confirm it. So in neutral, if you do 5S, 236S in neutral, if your opponent gets hit, you can just super dash and combo, like without meter. You literally get a free punish. And also because it's 20 frames on startup, you can do reflect 236S, and it'll actually punish most things in the game. Unless your opponent like anti-reflects you with a normal, if you reflect them and then 236S, if you do that automatically, it'll punish pretty much anything outside of normals. So the way you play neutral and defense with this character has completely changed with this move. In addition, guys, he has a brand new special move, that being his medium dive kick. Now what this dive kick does is not only does it make his optimal combos hit harder because it does more damage than the light version, but the medium version of his dive kick gives him a sliding knockdown. And not only does it give a sliding knockdown, but he travels with the opponent towards the floor, which means just like with Z Broly at number 5 on this list, he can continue pressure immediately after getting a sliding knockdown. So that means he has more instances that he can mix you with assist plus super dash or assist plus super dash kick. So not only did they fix his neutral problems, they fixed his pressure problems. They fixed his neutral. His pressure, his mix-ups, his combos, and his damage. The only thing that is bad about the character, bad in quotation marks, is his assist spread. His assist spread is the only thing that's keeping this character back from being, like, honestly, one of the best characters in the game. Honestly, I think he's that good. Vegeta is definitely number one for me. Definitely number one. So, just to recap on my winners and honorable mentions, I have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Cooler, Jiren. At number 5, we have Z Broly. Number 4, we have Piccolo. Number 3, we have Frieza. Number 2, we have Trunks. And number 1, we have Super Saiyan Vegeta. So, with that being said, guys, this is going to be it for the video portion of this part. If you guys want to see me go over the rest of the roster, please be sure to check out the stream version of this tier list. I will have a link in the description below. And as for everybody in the stream, continue watching because I will be doing the rest of the roster, filling out the rest of this list, and as well as doing a tier list of just the overall strength of the game now. So, that's going to be it for the video portion. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys next time. Sayonara. Alright, boys, so before I get into the rest of the roster, does anybody have anything to say about my winners section? Damn, SSJ Vegeta? Bro, I'm telling you, SSJ Vegeta's cracked now, bro. He's really good now. TLDR, this patch was made for True. Legit, it was. It was. It literally buffed all my characters. Do I think Jiren ate more than Krillin? Definitely. Definitely. Because the thing about Krillin is that they didn't fix anything that was wrong about Krillin. His EX clone change was definitely a really good change, and it helps out his mix-ups. But he always had the option to do left-right or do high-low. It was just a lot more inconsistent. But he still had the option to do it. Jiren, on the other hand, didn't have that great... He had good pressure, but he couldn't open his opponent up because his frame data was too slow and his command grab wasn't good. But now, since his frame data is a lot faster, Jiren can consistently open characters up, which means he can actually fulfill his game plan of doing staggers into mix. And Jiren's overall damage ceiling is higher than Krillin's, this in general. So Jiren definitely ate more than Krillin. He definitely ate more. Oh shit, my fridge is open. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh shit. Alright, so quick question, guys. Do you guys want me to fill out the tier list and then talk about it? Or do you want me to go, like, per group of characters? Because there's a certain group of characters that, instead of doing character by character, I'm just gonna do, like, a group of, like, 4 or 5 characters at a time. So do you guys want me to do it in groups, or fill out the tier list and then talk about, like, certain characters and stuff like that? When we do it per group. So we got one per group. Anybody else? The options are per group or fill out the tier list and then talk about it. Those are the two options here. This is some really good ST. Holy hell. Yeah, per group? Okay. Just give me a quick second. I've got to check something on my phone real quick. And then we will get to the per group section. What do I also curious? What do I think of Ginyu? If you're asking me like in terms of like his overall shift in the meta, like in terms of like strength wise, I think Ginyu is pretty much exactly where he was before, which is pretty high tier. I don't think his placement is that significant. Like he's more consistent, I would say, and his damage ceiling is a lot higher. But I don't think Ginyu is gonna rise to like top 5 or something like that. But who knows? Ginyu is such an anomaly to me that like I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. Really know. He has some crazy stuff now, so literally anything can happen with Ginyu. Literally anything can happen. Trunks, what did Trunks get? So Trunks has consistent sliding knockdowns with light shining slash. His JH is faster at 10 frames, so now he can left right you without using EX flip. His fake out change the future is now special cancelable, so you can do change the future feint into change the future, or change the future feint into change the future feint, or change the future feint light slash. You know, you get the gist. He also got the universal change of beams where it has more hit stun, so now you can combo into his beam mid screen and get rejumps, which makes his damage higher. And both his A and B assists got buffed. So Trunks got a lot better in this patch. He got a lot better. Like I actually think he's in a respectable placement in the game now. Honestly, later on in the stream I'm gonna be doing an actual tier list for the game's meta or overall health. And I really only think there's only 3 tiers. I honestly think there's only 3 tiers of characters now. I don't think there's like S minus, A, B, C, or some shit like that. I honestly think it's like, I think if I had to put it, I would probably say S tier, S minus, and then A plus. Like the gap between characters are not that big anymore. It's really not that big. Like I would go S minus, and then A plus. Like the groupings are really close together right now. Alright, so with that being said, so the first group of characters I want to talk about is, so first up we have a Bluku. We have Bluku. We got Tien. Base Vegeta. Who else? Android 17. Who else didn't get buffed this patch? I think that's it. Teen Gohan. I think he's here too. They didn't really do much with Teen Gohan. I think that's it. I think everybody else got pretty significant changes to their kit overall. I'd say Nappa is about the same, actually. I think Nappa is about the same. think that's it. I think everybody else got some pretty good buffs overall. I think UI is pretty much the same. His damage ceiling is higher, but he still practically plays the same. Is that everybody? Yeah, I think everybody else got some pretty good changes overall. I think that's what I would do. So, all these characters in this portion here they either didn't get any buffs at all. For example, like Blueku, Tien, Base Vegeta, like they didn't get any changes whatsoever. Or their changes weren't significant enough to where their placement was significant. So like Teen Gohan got his assist buffs, which is good for Teen Gohan, but his placement is probably not going to change, or just overall strength. Nappa got, I think he got his corner loops now with his projectile, which is cool, but his damage was already high. And a UI Goku, his damage ceiling is higher now, but once again, it's not to the point where like he's shitting out damage. Like he's just on par with everybody else. You think Beerus is a top 5 winner? I don't see. Beerus got good changes, but the reason why I don't think he's a top 5 winner is because Beerus was already a top tier character, or in my opinion, he was a high tier, but everybody else said he was top tier. So Beerus is already good. The reason why I have these characters here is because there was something core that was wrong with these characters. Like there was something like plaguing these characters from being higher. Broly was his damage and consistency. Piccolo was meter and the fact that his teams were very specific. Frieza, his assists were not good. Trunks, just overall damage was low, lack of sliding knockdowns, level 3 mix was hard. And Vegeta was just missing everything. Just everything. So like, Beerus, I wouldn't consider him a top 5 winner because Beerus already had a good kit and was already considered a top to high tier character. So that's why I don't think Beerus was a top 5 winner. He definitely won. He won in this patch, but I don't think he's top 5. Yes sir, Broly wins. Yeah bro, Broly got some good ass buffs, dude. Broly's cooking. Krillin is definitely an honorable winner. Honorable mention winner. Yes he is. And I will get to Krillin in a bit. Actually, let me pull up the patch notes. Let me pull up the patch notes real quick. In a separate tab because I want to refresh myself on some of the changes here before I talk about these characters. Because there are some changes that I just straight up forgot. Let's see. The patch notes. Okay, so let me talk about the characters that I know the changes for. You get my thought process? Yeah. Alright, so let me talk about the characters that I do think that I already know. So Krillin, definitely honorable winner. I think Beerus is an honorable winner. Ginyu is an honorable winner. Gohan is actually the same. Gohan's actually the same. Goku, I think Goku is about the same, honestly. His punch being frame 4 invul is important. I think it's a really strong tool, but most people, I don't think people are just gonna be chucking that shit as a reversal, right? I just don't see that happening, to be honest. It's definitely a good reversal, but I don't see the way you play SSJ doesn't change with that in mind, right? He got the universal beam changes as well. Now his damage ceiling is higher, but the big change that's unique to him is that he has a 4-frame reversal, and I just don't see that changing how you play Goku. So overall, I think Goku is just the same. I think Goku's just the same overall. Who else is a winner? Roshi, definitely an honorable winner. Damage ceiling is a lot higher. His Thundering Surprise Attack, being able to combo anywhere on screen makes TLDs way easier. You can even use it mid combo as a tag option. So Roshi is just a lot more consistent. I wish they buffed his B assist. That's literally the only thing else I would do with Roshi, is buff his B assist. But outside of that, he's perfect now. He's great. Let me think. Okay, so everybody else, I don't know. Gotenks got... Well, Gotenks is about the same. GT Goku? Yeah, GT Goku definitely won this patch, yeah. GT Goku definitely won this patch. Gotenks, I don't know. Because, like, not GT Goku. GT Goku got some really good buffs with his, A assist and his beam changes. What else did he get? Let me see what he got. I know he got another change somewhere. So he got the beam change, he had his A assist change, and his normals are better. So like jumping heavy is now jump cancelable, and his 5S goes through Ki Blast, so his neutral's better. So GT Goku definitely ate this patch. Yeah, so I was about to mention that Gotenks got his auto combo fixed. I just don't know if Gotenks is another anomaly. I think he got buffs, but I don't know if like it's enough to change the way you play Gotenks, because Ghost Oki definitely got nerfed in the last patch, but you could still do it. And now, because of the beam changes, you can pretty much always get sliding knockdowns, because you can just use beam into rejump and then get a sliding knockdown anywhere now. So Gotenks is basically what he was before they nerfed his Ghost Oki the first time. So Gotenks, in my eyes, kind of just seems the same. I don't know. He definitely got buffed, but I don't know if I would say like he's like a mad winner. I don't know. He kind of feels the same to me. I'm not a Gotenks player, so I don't know how significant his like changes outside of his bug fix was. But in my perspective, Gotenks seems about the same. Yeah, Gotenks is still the same. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. He got mad damage now? Well, I mean, he always had... Well, not always. Gotenks could do damage in the last patch. I think it's a lot more consistent. Let me think. Let me go back to the patch notes. There's something I want to double check here. Let's see. Alright, so I think I'm gonna put Cell in the same. I'm gonna put S Broly in the same. I think I'm gonna put Majin Buu, Kid Buu, and 16. I think these characters are overall the same. Because the only thing they did to Kid Buu was make his supers better. Majin Buu, or Fat Buu, what did Fat Buu get? Let me see. Fat Buu. Yeah, Fat Buu didn't really get that much. S Broly just got more damage, so it didn't really fix his issues. S Broly just hits harder, so he's pretty much the exact same. And then Cell is the exact same. He just has more damage. I think that's it for the same characters. I think. Alright, so let me go back to Android 21 got her steals buffed. I think, yeah, she did. So she definitely got her steals buffed. I definitely do think they're significant enough to make her honorable mention. I think they are significant enough. Even though they are situational because you have to steal it from specific characters, but specifically her green steals definitely got the best of them. The fact that her green steals can OTG in a combo now, it's crazy. It fixes one of her issues, that being sliding knockdowns are inconsistent, but it also boosts her damage too. So it's like 21 is just straight up better. I don't yeah, I think it semi changes how you play 21. It semi changes how you play 21. 18, I think she's about the same. She has more combos now, but like how you play her, it hasn't really changed. You call 17 barrier to protect yourself. Her neutral is good. Her mix-ups are great. Her damage is consistent. Like, I don't think there was anything significantly changed about 18. Like, her barrier change into other special moves is a big change, but she could already do what she wanted after barrier in the last patch. So I don't think that's a big deal, honestly. I don't think it's enough to be honorable mention. Baby got his 2L buffed. Yes he did. Let me look at Baby's changes real quick before I place him. Actually, let me look. So 2L is faster, moves further. 5M is faster, and then Final Flash. I think Baby is about the same, honestly. I think he can do mix-ups now, but he always had mix-ups. It's just that they were situational. And most people just plays Baby because he zones really well. People don't play Baby because he's a 50-50 god. And even now with his 2L change, I still don't think he's like a god at mix-up. Like, he has mix-ups now, but in comparison to other mix-up like focused characters like Kip, Krillin, Blue Vegeta, Beerus, Piccolo, Cell, like his mix-ups are just not, competing with that. He can mix you up. It's just that nobody's playing Baby for mix-ups. You're playing Baby to zone. You're playing Baby to zone, for the most part. Yeah, I think Baby's about the same. I don't think it was significant enough. Which is fine by me, because Baby was already a good character. He was already good, so. By the way, just because your character is in this section, it just means that your character was good enough. Which doesn't make them bad. Literally every character in this tier is a good character. There are no bad characters in this game. Just let me reiterate that. There are no bad characters in this game. Not one. There's no bad characters in this game. Especially since this is a team game and characters with weaknesses you can remedy with other characters. So there are no bad characters in this game. Bro, gotta go. You'll be able to watch the VOD. It's 6. Yeah, I get you. You live on the other side of the world, so I get it. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. No, I get it. I got it. Thanks for stopping by, though. I appreciate it, dude. Yo, we gotta play Genshin again, dude. We gotta set up another Genshin session, dude. Alright, so down to the last 5. So I actually don't know what they changed about these characters. So let me go through their changes real quick. Let me go to Bardock. So light lariat's faster. Heavy lariat moves further. Has better hit stop. when guarded. Tyrant Lancer is faster. Level 1's faster. Asus has better. So I think Bardock. I think overall Bardock is the same. I think his greatest weakness is his level 3. I think if he had a good level 3, then Bardock would be fine. But his neutral is already good. He has good buttons. Like he has good mix because of Super Dash and the fact he has a good 2L low. So he has everything, but just consistent, but a level 3, honestly. So Bardock honestly is probably just the same, honestly. I don't really see anything that's like, oh my god, or outside of maybe Tyrant Lancer being faster. I think it's 24 frames now. But outside of that, I don't think his changes were significant enough. Base Goku, they fixed his Kamehameha now, and then Kaioken follow-ups are better. Base Goku is about the same. Nothing significant. Same character as always. Kefla. Where is Kefla? So Kefla got her 5M, reduced delay. Jumping heavy is faster. So they basically gave her the Trunks change. Double hammer, which is her overhead, is faster. I think it's 24 frames as well. And then her cannonball is super dash cancelable. I don't think that's enough to make her a winner. Like she got buffed, but like once again, she had good neutral, she had good buttons. Is that she just doesn't have a good level 3, dude. She can beat Reflect. Her overhead being actually, she's literally the exact same thing as Bardock, where one change is significantly better than the others, but everything else is just quality of life stuff. Like I think the significant change to Bardock was Tyrant Lancer, and then the significant change to Kefla was her overhead, but everything else just feels like quality of life stuff. So they're gonna be in the same tier. Videl and Yamcha. So what do they do to Yamcha? Yamcha. Where is Yamcha? Okay, so standing medium heavy, standing heavy is frame 4 invul. Kamehameha got the same change as everything else, and then Kamehameha and B assist changes. Though I think the 4 frame normals is good. I don't know, dude. I feel like they should have did something with his Ki Blast to make it better in neutral. I feel like they should have did something with 5S. Like maybe giving him a 2S or something. Yamcha feels about the same. I think he's about the same, honestly. And then Videl. Alright, so Videl. Her 2M is now faster. 2S now has less recovery. Heavy 22H. Adjusted distance moves, so now she gets consistent mix-ups, I'm guessing. And then her counter is faster. Once again, all seem like quality of life stuff to me. Videl was already good at mixing people, and her 2M change is good. It means she has more consistent ways to mix, but her 2L low was already fast enough, so I don't know what speeding up 2M would do. It might have actually made her anti-reflex weaker, honestly, but I just don't know. Let's see, would that change anything about this? Yeah, I think I like it the way it is, honestly. I think I like it the way it is. Alright, so you guys have any questions, concerns, anything you want to add to the tier list? Before we start the actual meta tier list? Anything else you guys want to add before we get started there? Hold on 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Anything additional you guys would like to add, or anything else? Alright, I guess we can get started on the real tier list. 1 second here. Okay, so I have this tier list saved in my files here. Actually, let me double check. Let me double check before I confirm it here. Okay. Alright, so now back to the tier list you guys all know and love. I honestly believe there are only three tiers of characters now. So we have S, S minus, and A plus. Oops, A plus. I think. Let me edit this for a second. So S will be ordered. Will be ordered. I'm gonna say peak design. And that doesn't look right. say peak design. Why does it do that? You know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna say S ordered. S tier is the only tier that's gonna be ordered for this list. I think everything else, S minus and A plus, are so similar that it really does not matter. It really does not matter. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm just gonna start plopping characters and then we'll just see how things go. So Android 16, S minus. Also, S tier is gonna be top 20. I'm gonna see if I can fit 20 characters on here. I think top 10 is really close together. Maybe top 15. We'll see. We'll see how things go. I think definitely top 10 is gonna be in here. Krillin, S minus. Android 17, S minus. Android 18, S. 21, S. Bardock, A. Beerus, S minus. S Broly, S minus. Z Broly, potentially S tier. Ginyu, maybe top of S minus. Cell, S minus. Cooler, S minus. Frieza, S minus. Gogeta Blue, S minus. Adult Gohan, S. Teen Gohan, A. Goku Black, A. GT Goku, S. Blueku, S. SSJ, S. UI, A plus. Base Coup, A. Gotenks, S. Hit, A. Janemba, S. This is not ordered, by the way. I'm gonna fix it up. I'm just plopping characters. Jiren, S. Kefla, A. Kid Buu, A. Majin Buu, probably A. Roshi, S. Easy. Nappa, S. Piccolo, S for now. Baby, potentially. Tien, potentially. Trunks, S. Blue Vegeta, S plus. SSJ, S minus. Base, S minus. Vegito, S. Videl, potentially A. Yamcha, A. Zamasu, S. Vegeta 4, S. Lab codes, S minus. Okay, so none of this is order right now. I just plopped in characters. So who would I say is the top 3? Adult Gohan, Lab Code, do I think Blueku is stronger than 18? Ooh. Do I think Blueku is stronger than 18? That's the real question. Actually, let's get some hype music in here. Yeah. Hell yeah. This is shit I like. Alright, so, Broly is definitely on the edge here. Maybe he's not quite up here, actually. I think he's probably like here, maybe. Let's see. Vegeta, I think he's here. Baby, I think... I'd like Tien more than Baby. Vegito... Yeah, I like Vegito there. Mm, hmm. This is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, I guess by process of elimination, this would be my top 10. This would be my top 10 characters. Maybe. Let's see. S minus. I would have Android 21. I would have Krillin here. Ginyu, definitely. Base Vegeta. Gotenks. Zamasu. I like SSJ more than Broly now. Beerus definitely needs to be higher, but I don't know where I'd put him. Maybe he's like here? Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm back. So where was I? Oh, yeah. I like SSJ. I think... what about, like, more... I think SSJ is a little bit more consistent. 17 needs to be higher, but I have no idea where I'd place him. Maybe, I think maybe he's better than Broly. I like Janemba more than Broly. Well, no, actually I don't. I don't like Janemba or Broly now. 16 I like over Janemba. Broly didn't really get the changes he needed, so I'm gonna put him in A. Broly just does more damage, which it didn't fix his problems. Cooler definitely needs to be lower. He's good, but not that good. Hold on, I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. My parents need help with something. How we doing? How we doing in the chat? Alright. Let's see. I definitely like Nappa. I like Nappa. Not as much as Cell. GT. Actually, I like Frieza more than GT, actually. Trunks, Roshi, Piccolo. I think I'm gonna go with this, actually. I actually like Piccolo up here. Jiren and Cooler. Worst character in the game, I'd probably say Goku Black still. Broly has good damage. Videl has good mix-ups and neutral. Tingo, I don't know, Tingohan, definitely higher. Kid Buu, I'd probably say he's about here. Majin Buu, I'd say about, oh, actually I like Videl more. Kefla, actually I like Yamcha more. Well, Kefla is more stable. Hit, I'd probably say he's here. His assist carries him. Plus it's good frame data. Base Coup. Actually, I like Base Coup more than Team Gohan. MUI Goku, I'd probably say they're about the same. Actually, they're about the same. This is really hard. The game, the fact that we only have 3 tiers is astounding to me. I just don't know where I would place everybody. Like, I think this is pretty accurate to what I would say. But if something feels off and if something feels completely right. I definitely don't think there's a 4th tier lower than A+. But I don't... Maybe... Maybe a tier in between S minus and A+. But I don't think there's a gap in between any of these characters, really. That's the hard part. Like, I feel like there's the top tier and then there's everybody else. But there is a certain tier of characters that have fundamental flaws or things that they just straight up cannot do without help. While everybody else can do that thing, even though it might be weaker, but they can still do it. Like, Hit's aerial mobility isn't good. Base Goku is pretty reliant on having less characters for his Kaioken and having characters set him up. Base Goku relies on people overextending for him. Team Gohan requires people to be patient with him. S Broly just does damage while his neutral hasn't gotten any better to compensate for it. Kid Buu can't SKD, and damage without resources is pretty mediocre. Videl's normals is still small. No reflect, but she does have DP. Majin Buu is too meter reliant, and neutral could be better. Kefla is overall has a stable moveset, but just doesn't do enough, and her level 3 isn't that good. Yamcha's neutral is still a problem, though he does do a lot of damage once he gets in, but him getting in is the issue. Same thing with Bardock. He does good damage when he gets in, but Once he gets in, he can't really do much. Well, actually, no. I don't. Barak's level 3 is just the issue. Like, everything else about him is fine. And then Goku Black, level 3, is the issue. Straight hits are kind of an issue for him. But that's really about it. Like, characters in A+ really only have like 1 or 2 things that are holding them back. Whereas everybody else is pretty complete. It's just that you just need a team to just make them work. Whereas these guys need specific things to make them work. Whereas these guys, you can kind of just plop them together and then they work. Like, you could run like Cooler 2116 and it'd be fine. You could run Janemba, Ginyu, Beerus and it's fine. You could run GT, Trunks, and Piccolo and it's fine. Right? But I wouldn't say you could run Hit with everybody in the game. Or you could run Bardock with everybody in the game. I don't think I could say that confidently. Or maybe you could, but they could only be the point character in no other position. Okay. I think I'm okay with this for now. I think. I think I'm okay with this list for now. For now, I think. Alright, so let's see. Gohan, 21, 18. Blueku, Vegito, Tien. Baby, Blue Vegeta, and both Gogetas. I'd probably put 4 Gogeta over Blue. I do think Baby is stronger than Blue Vegeta. Tien, Vegito. It's a toss-up between Vegito and Tien, honestly. And then it's a toss-up between 18 and Blueku. But Gohan and Lab Code are still top 2 in the game. Lab Code, Krillin, Ginyu, Base Vegeta. Yeah, I like Gotenks. I like Beerus higher, actually. Gotenks, Base Vegeta, Zamasu, SSJ, Ender 17, Broly, Ender 16, Janemba, Cell, Nappa, Frieza, GT, Trunks. I kind of like Trunks more than GT. Do I like Trunks over Frieza? Nah, Golden Form is too OD. Golden Form is way too OD. Honestly, I might move Frieza up just because of Golden Form. I think if I include Golden Form into this situation, I would probably say I like him. I like him over Broly and 16 if we're including Golden Form. Golden form is cracked. Actually, that's tough. Frieza, cause 16 and Broly, I think I'm comfortable with this. I don't know if I could put Frieza over 16 and Broly, actually. I don't think I could do that comfortably. Janemba Cell, Nappa, Trunks, GT, Roshi, Piccolo, Jiren, Cooler. Jiren and Cooler are kind of just in the same boat, so I don't really think there's one definitely better than the other. Jiren definitely does a lot of, does more damage, but Cooler's normals are better. In terms of reach, Jiren is better in terms of data, but Cooler has the reach. But overall, I think Jiren is slightly stronger, but Piccolo, Roshi. I want to put Piccolo higher, but I don't know if I feel comfortable putting him over GT. I definitely don't think he's higher than Trunks, because Trunks straight up beats Piccolo. Piccolo does struggle with characters with good projectiles. You know, he does have the normals to compete once he gets in the mid-range, but long range it could be a struggle for him. I think I like it that way. Trunks, GT, Roshi, Piccolo. I think I'm okay with that. Nappa, Cell, Janemba. Hit. Base Coup. UI. Teen Gohan, S Broly. I think I like this tier list, actually. I think I like it so far. I don't really see anything like glaringly wrong here. I think I'm pretty confident in this list here. I think. This is my jam right here. This is my jam. This is my jam right here. Send you a picture of the list. Yeah, I can send it. I can send you a picture. I'm gonna post it on Twitter later on, so you can snapshot it there. I think I'm pretty confident in this list, honestly. I think I'm pretty confident in this list here. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this list, actually. Alright. So, I'm gonna save this list here. Alright, so before I decide to head off, do you guys want me to do anything in particular? Do you guys want me to talk about something? Do you guys want me to talk about something? Do you guys want me to play a game or what? Do you guys want me to do anything? If not, then I can head out for today. But if you guys want me to stick around to play a game, talk, or whatever. It's up to you guys. I have time to chill today, so it's up to you guys. Damn, I'm all out of tea. Alright then, if you guys don't have any other suggestions for me, then I think I might head off for today. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Thank you Dash, Steven, Eldo, and everybody else for showing up. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Once again, thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you guys next time. Sayonara.